Hey, it's me, and welcome to Trump Mafia. Now, for many months, we've seen people in the media engage in behavior that is over and beyond what they're supposed to do. Instead of reporting the news, they're being advocates. But in doing so, they advocate for groups that have murdered police officers, that call for the overthrow of government, and that are in fact waving flags of other nations, ISIS or Mexico, and they're chasing Trump supporters down the streets and beating them up, harassing girls and throwing egg in their hair and all that stuff. But we also have various media people advocating sanctuary cities, which is really an attempt to hide from the law. And we have people advocating disrupting official proceedings such as the inauguration of the president, or in fact, just disrupting the work of the President of the United States. And as you know, all the laws also apply to a successor, like a president-elect or a vice president-elect. And so these media people, not all of them, but many of them, have been engaging in a form of sedition. And I wouldn't go as far as calling it treason, but it comes close. But it certainly fits the definition of sedition. And in fact, if you read the laws, you will see that many of these media people, and especially the ones that are very outspoken, are hiding behind their status as someone in the media to be able to say whatever they want. But in some sense, I agree there's freedom of the press. But that is to discuss policies and opposing views. It is not there to have the media advocate the overthrow of government or the disruption or prevention of any laws being enforced, such as laws concerning immigration or anything else really. And it doesn't mean you can advocate for the killing of police officers, law enforcement. And you also have people in the media that are advocating disrupting the work of the US military, or in fact disparaging them and rooting for the other side. And that also counts as sedition and perhaps even treason. Now we've seen, like that coward Bergdahl who collaborated with the enemy, being treated as some kind of a hero, received in a rose garden with his parents, like he was about to be given the Medal of Honor. And it is a disgrace. And of course, that president did not respect any laws. In fact, he worked very hard to create new laws, his own laws. And people on the left don't really respect the U.S. Constitution. But working against the U.S. Constitution also is a form of sedition and treason. Now, the media has a problem because they've been operating in an unlawful way for a long time. And the FCC has always been controlled by Democrats, so they don't do anything about it. In fact, they're using all their powers to limit the free speech of conservative websites, even now going after InfoWars, Breitbart, Drudge Report, Fox News, all of those places where you get alternative political views. But it's time for them to really understand that they can have opposing views, but they cannot break the law. They cannot advocate for the overthrow of government or the assassination of a president or a president-elect. And so therefore I believe that when Donald Trump is sworn in and he has his team in place, that they should take a look, that the AG Jeff Sessions should review the laws and see if any of these laws were broken by some of these people in the media. Now, of course, you have the usual suspects, but I also believe that you cannot use these laws to suppress the media, but the media also has to exert some form of self-control. I mean, do you really have to advocate assassinating a president-elect? Do you really have to advocate the killing of law enforcement officers? Do you really have to advocate people crossing into the United States illegally? No, you do not. It's not part of your job. Media should understand that and go back to school or go to ethics class or something like that. Because if they don't, maybe they'll end up in jail.
All right, all right, all right.